Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Dave Wallace here. He calls me Wally, and we have Jason Cole.
Yes.
So, couple of guys with no class.
Yep, couple of friends with no class.
Friends with no class. So today we're going to be covering something we're actually really excited to talk about.
So excited.
This is probably something I've been looking forward to more than anybody else. But conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theory podcast. Let's go.
We're going to talk about Fred the Ghost at the University of New Haven.
Actually, isn't Fred the Ghost's own podcast coming up?
Fred the Ghost does have his own podcast. You're right.
Fred the Ghost does not have a podcast.
Yes.
Fred the Ghost is a separate podcast episode.
It's a spin-off series.
The spin-off series. The Fred the Ghost podcast.
We're just going to leave a microphone in the hallway.
Yeah, we sit. Yeah.
Hey guys,
Like an EVP, it's like hello. We could do that. Do some Ghost Hunters
It'd be
episode.
fucking hysterical.
Be so funny.
I'd laugh at that. I mean, Maxie Hall has ghosts. I remember them telling us in the tour. It's like, yeah, it was actually an orphanage. And I'm like, oh, it was? They're like, yeah, it burned down.
Yikes.
I'm like, oh, that's something we wanted to tell.
It'd be kind of fun doing the ghost. I mean, I'm not sure how you would podcast ghost hunting, but like, I watch a lot of ghost hunting video things. I know all the little things you gotta have.
The TV shows are fun.
TV shows are fun. You know, like people have like like an EVP, like electrical thing where it's like so it starts like through like radio channels. It's like and it like hits like one word. It's like Carl. It's like it's like, are you here? It's like yes.
Carl.
I don't know. It's not Carl.
That's
anyway,
fantastic.
yeah. So we'll get to Fred and his whole thing. Fred. The ghost that goes by many names. I think Fred's what we're hired to use.
Leroy on the fourth floor.
Leroy on the fourth floor. Got a whole bunch of ghosts. Anyway,
so conspiracy theories.
Yeah, today we're talking about conspiracy theories, and we both of us have pulled up some conspiracy theories here on our phones. We're gonna read them out. We'll discuss them.
I have a couple of current event ones. It's like a couple of current ones.
I want to lead up with one of those, and I'll go into one of mine.
Oh, sure, okay. So my first one, and this is gonna get a lot of people to laugh at me. I looked up conspiracy theories in New Haven because I'm like, well, New Haven's like one of the older cities in New England, so I'm like, that'll be pretty fun. There's gonna be some weird shit in New Haven, right? And what I came up with was something by Alex Jones. Now, if you don't know who Alex Jones is, I don't know how the fuck you wouldn't. But Alex Jones is this right-wing nut job who, he's a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
that's his thing. Is he goes on the radio and screams the Republican Party's being screwed, and he loves conspiracy theories. Like the vaccine has a microchip. He's the one who invented it. And apparently he was actually just here at New Haven. Apparently he took a tour on campus as part of his tour of the area. But he went to Yale for this Skull and Bones thing. Now, Skull and Bones, I did my little research, and I do have it on Wikipedia here, so don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
But Skull and Bones is known as the Order 332 or 322 at Yale. Yale is like the big brother of New England. It's the school we're in the shadow of, pretty much. But Skull and Bones is like a secret society on Yale's campus, which it's been there since they opened. And Alex Jones swears to God that they helped create the CIA. And then the reason they're high elitists. And I just can't understand that. I'm sorry. They created the CIA? I feel like if there's documentation they create, and he says in an interview with the New Haven Inquirer that it's on document. Well, if it's on document, why have I never heard of it, and why is it not a thing? You know what I mean? I look up Skull and Bones, and I don't see anything about CIA. I see stuff about the Russell Trust Association, the World Bank, obviously Yale and New Haven universities, the Phi Beta Kappa, Colossian Society, Lenoa Brothers in Italy. I mean, all these actual organizations.
Yeah.
But nothing about the CIA. And if it's documented, you can find the evidence of it. You can find a paper trail.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a interesting thought, I guess.
It's dumb, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, the CIA, they helped found the CIA. Bro, what?
Seems like a weird line to draw.
Right. Why Yale, of all things? What did Yale have to do with this? I'm sorry.
No idea.
I mean, Yale's literally one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
Yeah.
And you're they created the CIA.
Dun dun dun.
What? I'm sorry. I just don't have any tolerance for these people.
I'm about to say that's false.
100%.
I mean, yeah, you want to take a stand on each, take a stand on what we think for each of these conspiracy theories. So I'll say that. Yeah, so that's false.
I would like to say that is officially debunked.
Yeah.
Okay, so my honest to God thought, right here, right now, and this can go on the record, the CIA was, and I don't know if this is true, so hear me out, this might be a conspiracy theory, created by the government.
Whoa.
Right. I think the
Well,
CIA
crazy. I think
was formed by the government.
Tinfoil hat guy over here.
Exactly, dude. I saw an alien yesterday.
Oh, bro. Whoa.
I'm telling you, I swear to God. I don't know what Alex Jones thinks he's getting from this, but that's my first take. That I thought that was pretty funny to start off with. Is like, some crackheads that are pissed drunk at Yale right now decided. First of all, Yale's a big party school.
Oh yeah.
Compared to New Haven, huge party school.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have many parties here. They get wasted all the time, and the fact is they're getting a much better degree for it than we are.
Yeah.
And we're paying 3 times what they are. Alex Jones, confirmed crackhead. Conspiracy 1. Jason, you're up.
All right, mine's a bit of a mystery conspiracy theory. Have you ever heard of D.B. Cooper and his story?
I've heard the name.
The name. All right, this is gonna be a fun thing. I got a little thing to read here. Once again, I've heard this story from many sources before. I currently have it pulled up on the Wikipedia page, but I skimmed it before we started, and it looks pretty accurate to what I. Not that I would deviate, be like, I flew away on a unicorn. I don't see any of that yet. But if we run into that, I'll make a note of it. So, got a guy gets on a plane in the 70s, 1971, actually.
Okay.
He hijacked a Boeing 727 aircraft, United States airspace between Portland and Seattle in the afternoon of November the 24th, in 1971. I'll just read you the story. It's actually pretty interesting. Hope you'll enjoy this. So on Thanksgiving Eve, November the 24th, 1971, a middle-aged man carrying a black attaché case, a gold briefcase, approached the flight counter of Northwest Orient Airlines at Portland International Airport. He identified himself as Dan Cooper and used cash to purchase a one-way ticket on Flight 305, a 30-minute trip north to Seattle. Normal stuff so far.
Sure.
Cooper boarded the aircraft, a Boeing 727-100, and it says the FAA registration, but that's not relevant right here. Sat in seat 18C, or 18E on one account, 15D on another, so
interesting.
know if you would. Anyway, I ordered a drink, he ordered a bourbon and a soda. What a guy.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah. Eyewitness described the man in his mid-40s wearing a business suit and a black tie and a white shirt. This is the artist rendering that I can show to Wally because we're sitting here in person, but I can not show you guys that it's virtual. It's an audio thing, but this is what the guy essentially looked like.
Guy that sells pens.
Yeah, he's a pen guy. His name is Dan.
Dan. What is Dan? Do we know what Dan did for work?
We do not know what Dan did for
We
work.
know what Dan just.
We don't know who Dan is. We assume his name is DB Dan Cooper.
Yeah.
Or the way he wrote it down looked like it said DB. So it's a weird thing there.
His entire career was just flying from Portland to Seattle back and forth. That was his entire
Got
life.
a ride. Just got on a suit. Got a briefcase.
Right. Exactly.
Oh boy. Well, you guys see something else he did with his job too in a second. Here we go. All right. Flight 305, approximately 1/3 full, departed from Portland on schedule. Show up, takeoff. DB Cooper. He handed a note to Florence. To Florence Schaffner. I'm reading up the thing.
Sure.
She's a flight attendant. Situated nearest to him in the seat next to the aft stair door. Now this lady, she assumed that the note contained the lonely businessman's phone number and dropped it unopened into her purse. And Cooper leaned over to her and whispered, this is a quote, it says, Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb.
Has a bomb?
A bomb.
Like explosive, like kablooey bomb.
Yeah, kablooey bomb. But I find it kind of funny that he was like, hey, whoa, okay, here you go. All right, here you go, a little stealth move there. It's like, oh, wait, you can open it. Hey, I got a bomb. Like, how do you... Oh, whoa, okay. It's like, they got the secrecy on that one. It's like, he discreet hands her a note. It's like, thanks. He sticks it in her bag. All right, well, the note was printed on in neat all capital letters with a felt tip pen. So he does sell pens.
Apparently he does. He must sell a pen.
The exact wording is unknown because Cooper later reclaimed it. He took the note back. She later recalled that I had mentioned the bomb and directed her to sit in the seat beside Cooper.
Okay.
She did as requested, and then silently asked to see the bomb. Cooper showed the briefcase long enough for her to glimpse at 8 red cylinders, so it's like a classic cartoon dynamite bomb.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 on top of 4, so it's like a cartoon bomb.
Yeah.
attached to wires coated with red insulation and a large cylindrical battery. It's a video game bomb.
This is literally something in a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but this is real. This is a thing. After closing the brief, he stated his demands. He wanted $200,000 in American currency, good American currency,
Right.
4 parachutes, 2 primary and 1 reserve, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the aircraft on arrival.
Yeah.
This guy's got it all planned out. So the flight attendant conveyed Cooper's instructions to the pilots in the cockpit, and when she returned, Cooper was wearing dark sunglasses. So I showed that picture there. So he was not wearing sunglasses in the beginning. He put them on in probably like a really cool like action movie sequence.
Yeah.
Puts on his sunglasses.
Yep, I did the math. $200,000 in 1971 is roughly $1.4 million.
Oh, it was like $1 billion.
I'm going to say, wow, inflation.
Wow, that's a lot of inflation. Yeah.
$1.3 million.
Wow, big bucks.
50 years ago this year.
Well,
Anyway, continue.
yeah, we'll have to do a podcast on the 24th. I guess if anything, we have to be home, but never mind.
Right. We're gonna
Yeah.
We'll do it beforehand, and we'll like.
Hey, it's
Jimmy Cooper,
Jimmy Cooper, remember him?
birthday!
Hey! All right, happy hijacking. All right.
Like sell a T-shirt like that. Happy hijacking.
Specifically from Jimmy Cooper. All right, the captain, William A. Scott, contacted Seattle Tacoma Airport Traffic Control, so the airport they're going to, which informed the local federal authorities. The 35 other there's other people on this plane. The 35 other passengers were told that their arrival in Seattle would be delayed because of a minor mechanical difficulty.
Okay.
Norfolk Orient's president authorized payments for the ransom and ordered all employees to cooperate fully with the hijackers' demands.
Mm-hmm.
The aircraft circled Puget Sound for approximately 2 hours to allow Seattle Police FBI sufficient time to assemble Cooper's parachutes and ransom money and mobilize emergency personnel. Another flight attendant recalled that Cooper apparently appeared familiar with the local terrain. At one point, he remarked, "Looks like Tacoma down there," as the aircraft flew above it. He also correctly mentioned an Air Force base that was 20-minute drive at the time from Seattle to Tacoma Airport.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here because this just seems like it's just ridiculous information. All right, 5:24 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Cooper is informed that his demands have been met, and at 5:39, more than an hour after sunset, the aircraft landed in Seattle Tacoma Airport. All right, so then Cooper talks to the pilots, and outlined the flight plan that he wants to fly southeast course toward Mexico City at the minimum airspeed possible without stalling the aircraft. He wants to go slow. So they've landed. They're refueling the aircraft at his demands. And he wants them to take off toward Mexico City as slowly as possible. Literally as slow as the airplane will fly without stalling.
They're in Seattle.
They're in Seattle Tacoma Airport, yes.
Yes, and now he wants to go to New Mexico. Is that what you're saying?
Seattle Tacoma Airport, it's above, Seattle Tacoma. So it's like, I think that's...
What the hell's in New Mexico?
He wants to set a course toward Mexico City. He further specified the landing gear remained deployed at takeoff and landing position, and the wing flat speed lowered to 15 degrees. So he seems to know a lot about this plane, too. He seems pretty informed.
That's interesting.
All right, let's see. At approximately 7:40 p.m., Boeing 727 took off with only Cooper, Captain Scott, and the flight attendant, one of the first officers, and the flight engineer on board. So like minimal crew.
Literally.
All right. They were tailed by two two fighter jets. Essentially, they were
I
tailed.
think I said F-150s.
They're actually
just two pickup trucks on the ground.
F-106. Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Also shuttled the 727 before running low on fuel and turning so that another plane was there and it went back. There's a lot more information here that's not relevant to my conspiracy theories, so I'm just going through it. Let's see. Alright, so basically, I'm going to deviate from what's written here because I know the rest of the story. I was just trying to read it out so I get my things straight.
Right.
They take off to Mexico City. Get to a certain point. Cooper opens the door of the plane, jumps out with his ransom money, and is never seen again.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so he gets his whole thing. He has parachutes on. Got two regular parachutes, 2 reserve. Gets all this stuff together and jumps out of this plane, and goes off into the night. And they never hear from this guy again. The only thing they ever found of evidence was bills, $20 bills that were in a river. And they washed up. Like some guy was fishing, and it's oh look, a 20. And it's torn up, and it had the markings of something that believe that he like had like jumped out of the plane and made his bag open up a little bit and it went like Chuck E. Cheese and all the money fell out. And so all it's found was a few of the bills that may have fallen out of his bag when he was jumping out of the plane, but he has never heard from again. And there are people
because he jumped out of a fucking plane.
Yeah, there are people on their deathbeds who have said, "Oh yeah, I'm dying, but I was D.B. Cooper." Ugh. Most people have done that, so like, there's no definitive be like, "Oh yeah, it was this guy right here." So there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh yeah, it was me," and they die.
Right. People definitely did that just to like be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, one guy was definitely telling the truth.
Yeah.
But the real person definitely was like, "Yeah, this was me." And there was definitely some dick from like friggin' Nebraska who's like, "Oh, I was," and dies. And up in heaven right now, he's probably sitting there, he's like, shitheads, you're the reason I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
You're the reason we're talking about it. Like, who would do such a fucking thing? That's awful.
So what do you think about that? What do you think happened to him?
What I think happened to him?
Yeah.
I think the guy fucking died. Who jumps out of a plane and lives without a parachute?
He has parachutes. He has 4 parachutes.
Oh.
He has 2 regular parachutes and 2 reserves in case his 2 parachutes fail.
Okay.
The guy's very prepared.
I didn't know he had a parachute.
No, he has 4 parachutes.
So wait a minute, this guy had a fucking parachute and not anybody saw him falling out of the sky?
It was getting dark. It was like 8:00 at night.
It's a parachute. The guy's just free balling it at 40,000 feet. So you're telling me that this FAA and the government and like all this shit, the secret skull bone from Yale, none of these people were able to track a man in a parachute in the sky? It's the 70s. It's not 1912. We have the technology in the 70s.
People have seen the guy. We have like an eyewitness account.
We've seen the guy.
We have an artist rendering of the guy.
Yeah, there are pictures of him, apparently.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I mean, you got the drawings.
Well, not picture, but
yeah. But it's kind of interesting how he just kind of like, it's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah,
jumps
and
out of the plane.
multiple people have seen those drawings. Like, that's the guy. People who were on the plane.
Yeah.
So like, what?
But he's never heard from again.
That's bullshit.
This guy's gone. Yeah.
Somebody knows something. 50 years ago, somebody knew something and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's got kind of like on someone. I don't know like how these things work, but like someone's tax return's got to be like, wait, how much money do you have? Oh, I have X amount of dollars. How much money do you have? Oh, I have X amount of dollars plus an extra $200,000.
I have an extra $1.3 million.
Hey, where'd that come from?
Because who fucking knows? It came out of an airplane.
Oh yeah, I got it. I invested. I got some money from the airline.
I invested in Boeing.
Yeah, I invested in Boeing.
Yeah, which I guess you did in some aspect.
Yeah,
like, you can really say that.
I decided to pick a Boeing plane. I'm like, I'll jump out of that.
Why are you guys rich? Oh my dad. My grandfather was
affiliated with Boeing.
He sure did a lot of work with Boeing in the 70s. Or he was one of those the paratroopers for the military. Maybe that's what he was. Actually, think about that.
Yeah.
Because who just jumps out of a plane and has like the 4 parachutes?
I mean, he knows. Okay, you like 2 2 parachutes, and but we're gonna have reserve parachutes. He seems to know like, hey, this is how slow you can fly this. Please fly this airplane as slow as possible with the flaps at a certain level, because that'll keep the plane in the air.
Right.
Like drag and stuff.
He had to be in the Air Force or something.
Yeah.
Had to be. And I can't say like he's like espionage shit. Like it wasn't CIA or Hungary or anything like that. Not like Hungary like food, but like from Hungary.
Yeah.
He wasn't from like one of those, they're Chinese or anything like that. Because he didn't want intelligence,
Yeah.
He didn't have a target.
He just wanted money, and then he jumped out of a plane.
Wanted the money, for whatever reason, Mexico City of all things. Probably because he just wanted to get away with it.
Yeah.
But that's fucking weird. D.B. Cooper?
Yeah.
And nobody like ever bothered to like run him through any like military records or anything? They had to have. That had to be a thing.
I think they had to try.
Had to be a thing. Because you don't just like, I don't know, you can't just be like, yeah, let me like jump out of a fucking plane and nobody ever find me. People, I'm going to be honest with you, there has to be like some guy in this government somewhere.
Wait, hold up. This is interesting.
Has to be.
Hold up. Wait, this is interesting. I saw in like the aftermath section.
Okay.
And it says that due to multiple copycat hijackings in 1972, the FAA required all Boeing 727 aircraft to be fitted with this device, later dubbed the Cooper vane, that prevents lowering of all aft air stick. You can't open the door, basically.
Really?
During flight. As a direct result of the hijack, the installation of peepholes were mandated in all cockpit doors.
Really?
And this enables the crew of the cockpit to observe passengers without opening the cockpit door.
So because there were so many people who tried to, who knows, maybe it was D.B. Cooper, but like, because there were all these people who did this hijacking, it's now impossible to open the door in
I'm
mid-flight.
trying to figure out. No, I want to look a little more at this Cooper vein thing because it's like one picture and it shows a picture of it.
Really?
I want to look at I want to look a little more in depth.
I'm gonna look it up too. Cooper Vane?
Yeah.
Like Vane is a V-I-E-N?
V-A-N-E.
Okay.
The Cooper vane, sometimes called the Dan Cooper switch or the D.B. Cooper device, is a mechanical aerodynamic wedge that prevents the ventral. So the air stair.
Yeah.
I think this is part of the. Oh. Oh yeah. So it's a smaller plane, so it has a door that has stairs on it. It's like
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
that's what I just want to double check. I'm like air stair. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It prevents the air stair from being lowered in flight.
Okay.
And it's like in the back of the aircraft.
Sure.
In the United States, following 3 hijackings in 1972, the Federal Aviation Administration said that all the planes should be fitted with this device. Was named the unidentified plane hijacker D.B. Cooper. It's like cute, not a cute little picture, but there's a little animation here
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at it.
of what the point of it is.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, so the guy just jumped out.
Kind of hops out the back. They got a little door to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. So like they put things in place to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Just kind of interesting to look at.
That's crazy. Could you imagine that? I don't know if that actually happened, though. Well, it definitely actually happened. Because there has to be, like, you don't just scramble the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that definitely, I don't know if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if this is, like, a made-up story. But I want to see if, like, the government's ever confirmed this.
Oh, wait, yeah, this is not what you just said, but, like,
Yeah.
1971. Between 1971 and 2016, the FBI processed over 1,000 serious subjects, including assorted publicity seekers and deathbed confessors.
Right.
Some notable examples were Kenneth Peter Christensen, in 2003, Minnesota resident. Lyle Christensen watched a television documentary about Cooper's hijacking and became convinced that his late brother Kenneth was Cooper. After repeated futile attempts to convince first the FBI and then the author and director of the film, he contacted a private investigator in New York City. In 2010, the detective published a book postulating that Christensen was the hijacker. The following the episode of History series, a show also summarized some essential evidence linking Christensen with the Cooper case.
Yeah.
We'll go to the bottom of this and see why they say no. Despite the publicity generated from the book in 2011 TV documentary, the FBI is standing by its position that Christensen cannot be considered the prime suspect. It cites the poor match of eyewitness physical descriptions and a level of skydiving experience above that predicted of their suspect profile and the absence of direct incriminating evidence.
Okay, but, like, there's resounding evidence that, I just really lost my train of thought. There's, like, resounding evidence that eyewitness testimony is incredibly unreliable.
Yeah.
There's, like, millions and millions and millions of documents. I mean, you can find it, you can find it anywhere. I mean, I'm convinced that eyewitness evidence is almost useless. I mean, you can talk to any common American. They should do that in your friggin' criminal justice class. Eyewitness events, or eyewitness testimony is useless. For some reason, it's so convincing to people, but, like, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? People, like, misremember things every second.
Yeah.
So...
Oh.
Can't be.
Man, but I'll look at this guy here.
Also, his brother, I wonder what, like, provokes him to think about that. That's interesting.
I'm just going for this. A lot of the ones, like, down below, like, show, like, the picture. We can keep moving. I think I took up my time slot, but, like, a lot of them show, like the Irish veteran next to an actual person.
Right.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. This guy's next to him. Look at this guy right here.
Oh, he's identical. What?
Richard McCoy Jr. I'll make this the last guy I'm talking about.
Go for it.
Richard McCoy Jr. was an Army veteran
Okay.
who served 2 tours in Vietnam.
Okay.
First a demolition expert, and later in the Green Berets as a helicopter pilot.
So you would know. Okay.
After his military service, he became a warrant officer at the Utah National Guard, an avid recreational skydiver. With aspirations, he said to become I cannot speak. Utah State Trooper.
Okay.
On April 7, 1972, McCoy staged the best-known so-called copycat hijacking. So he did one of the copycat ones.
Okay.
He boarded United Airlines Flight 855, the same model of aircraft
Sure.
in Denver, Colorado, and brandished what later proved to be a paperweight resembling a hand grenade and an unloaded gun. He demanded 4 parachutes and $500,000. After delivery of the money to the parachutes at San Francisco International Airport, McCoy ordered the aircraft back into the sky and bailed out over Provo, Utah, leaving behind his handwritten hijacking instructions and his fingerprints on a magazine he had been reading. He was arrested with the ransom cash in his possession. After a trial and unknown conviction, he received a 35-year sentence. 2 years later, he escaped from jail with several accomplices by crashing a garbage truck through the main gate.
Fuck that. That's not real.
Tracked down 3 months later in Virginia Beach, McCoy was killed in a shootout with FBI agents.
There's no way that fucking happened.
Although there is no reasonable doubt that McCoy committed the Denver hijacking, the FBI does not consider him a suspect in the Cooper case because of the mismatches in age and description, a level of skydiving skill well above that thought to be possessed by the hijacker, a credible evidence that McCoy was in Las Vegas the day of the Portland hijacking, and at home in Utah the day after having Thanksgiving dinner with his family.
You're fucking lying. So I firmly believe that, like, just because we're not finding who the fuck the guy was.
Yeah.
Like, he murdered nobody, okay? It's not like we found the dead body, like, oh shit, now let's work backward. Mm-hmm. We have it on record. Yeah. Every single thing happened is, like, documented. We know what happened and how he did it, right? And obviously the guy was military. Yeah. So look at Air Force guys, look at paratroopers, look at guys who work at Walmart in the skydiving section. I mean, literally, we know who the guy was.
You've been to the Walmart skydiving section?
I'm just saying. The guy could have been practicing with shopping bags on his roof, you know what I mean? Like,
it's possible.
I'm just like, come on. We know who he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, we don't know how to find him.
Yeah.
Maybe D.B. Cooper was his real fucking name.
It's possible.
All right, ready?
All right.
We'll find something else. Because now this is pissing me off.
Yeah, all right, yeah, so let's do one more. Come on, I'll get you 2 off here.
There's a girl in our friend group named Kate. Kate didn't want to come on the show, but we're going to give her a little shout out. And she brought up something where she was from a couple weeks ago, her hometown, and it clicked because I had heard it before. Mm-hmm. Now, first off, there's going to be an episode in a few weeks about how New Jersey is a terrible state. It might not even be a real state, and Hoboken's not real. So Clinton Road in New Jersey, in Milford, New Jersey, that tripped me up. So I remember watching the YouTube videos. Oh my god, it's so haunted! Oh my god,
guys, it's 100. I've seen videos where it's like, guys, we're driving down this road.
Right.
It is so long that you cannot do it on a full tank of gas.
Right. Exactly. I looked it up.
Yeah.
How long it is?
How long is it?
10 miles.
10 miles. Yeah. So you cannot do it on a full tank of gas.
Well, I don't know what kind of car you're driving. You only get 10 miles before you fill up again.
Yeah. It's like phantom trucks.
Right.
And it's like this is like one video, and like another video is like, all right, guys, we're gonna drive it live. And it's done.
Right.
And the same video where they're like, guys, it's 1,000,000 miles long and stuff. They sent it like, guys, we gotta send up the drone. Set the drone. It's just the middle of it was like winter, so all the trees are bare. It's like, all right, guys, in the middle of the woods.
Right.
And it's like, oh no, our drone is glitching. Guys, we're losing control. I'm like, that is
it's -20 in New Jersey.
As a communications major and a video editor, I know fake static when I see it.
Right.
They just spun the drone around. They're like, oh guys, the drone's going down. They're like, controlling it. Right. It was ridiculous.
Bullshit.
I know.
That's crazy. So I remember watching the YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. These guys are going, I'm gonna follow these crazy dump trucks in the woods. Oh my god, yay! You get this guy who like drives around in his Prius. And he's like driving. Oh my god! Oh no! It took a right turn. Another right turn. I felt like I was listening to a NASCAR race. Right turn. I'm like, fuck off. And they like follow these like DPW trucks into a DPW plant. Oh my god! It's a puddle into the. No, dude, he's salting the fucking roads. It's New Jersey. It's cold as shit.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? So I pulled up a thing from the Daily News. Okay. And one quote goes, "It's a dark highway that leads into people's innermost fears." Mark Morgan, who's a publisher from the New York, New Jersey magazine, sums up the Clinton Road, which is a stretch of roughly 55 miles through northwest New York City. It starts in New York City and goes straight down over the George Bridge and everything. And it goes on for a while, and it gives you like, oh my god, it goes on 10 mile stretch of road through Clinton, New Jersey, and whatever. Clinton Road in Milford, New Jersey. And these stories. So there are these. I'm reading past this Social Security ad. Do you know why the Social Security number was apparently now just stolen?
No.
To this ad. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Apparently, contact the Social Security Administration today for a $3,708 home stimulus check.
Wow.
Would you like $3,708, Jason?
That sounds actually real. Let's put that. Oh wait, you want my Social Security number and home address?
Can I just tell? I'm gonna just give it to them on the podcast. Which can share Social Security numbers.
Well, my Social Security number is
112 0. Fuck off. So I don't know. I'm a huge believer in the paranormal. I really am. I have stories. I run my own business. Okay, I run my family business, and I have stories that when we talk about For the Ghost, I'll tell you a few stories. And I have some things that you definitely will. People will stop listening to this podcast for some reasons, but I firmly believe. I like to believe in that shit. So for me, when I read it, I'm like, oh, cool. This is something that's pretty interesting to me. I would like to read more about it. And you read more about it, you get these guys who are like, yeah, my wife, her dog got stolen out of the backseat of the car. What?
On the high? Do you stay on the highway?
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
I turned around and my daughter was gone.
My daughter was gone. She was in the road. I don't believe this shit. There's a difference between paranormal, being oh, fuck, there's a ghost. Oh, no, something walk by and you can't explain it. That's fine. I get that, right? I don't get that about, how, oh, no, there's a handprint in my car. My car is getting pushed down the road. That's because you're on a fucking hill. Yeah. It has nothing to do with a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I remember Kate telling us that this is the only thing her town's known for. And I looked it up, and I think there's a mall there, so she's not wrong. There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
But you look at these stories, and apparently there are some interesting stories. There's it runs through an old Indian tribe. There's an Indian reservation in the area. Okay, well that might make sense. Sure, that might be different, but not haunted, right?
Oh, yeah, I got something else on that.
Right, so people die.
Yeah. So that. That. And also know that was occasionally little historical things, it's a furnace of sorts. I believe was on Clinton Road.
I saw that.
Yeah,
yep.
So there's a historical sign. You pull over and you go check it out.
Yep.
I'm with that. I enjoy going and seeing those things.
Stoughton.
We do.
You're from a couple times over. I'm from Stoughton, which is a small town outside of Boston. We have one of those in the friggin' woods. You know what they're called?
What?
They're literally called roadside furnaces. Do you know what they use? Yep, English. Do you know I speak English? I'm not a communications major if you couldn't tell. You know what they were used for?
What?
In the 1800s, they used to stoke fires into them in the winter, so horses could walk up to them and heat up. They literally look like giant kettles, furnaces, like pizza ovens, on the side of a road. And we have them not everywhere, but we have a couple of them. We have one in the woods and one on the road. And it's because on these dirt paths, before they were paved streets, people would literally take their horses and ox and cattle and get them warmed up in the winter, and they'd plow the street or they'd carry whatever they carry.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, I like that kind of history and stuff.
Right.
You see that. So what I was getting to is that video talking about, oh my god, drones going down, right?
Yeah.
But guys, we're here today because we're looking for this guy who haunts the road.
Yes.
We'll also let him know this is broad daylight that we're recording this video.
Right, exactly.
Right? The guy's looking for this...
Cars passing by.
Yeah, cars passing by. There's no cars out here, 5 cars pass in the next seconds. Right? It's you guys are out here looking for this guy to show a little picture superimposed on the thing, right?
It's actually some dude that just took a picture of Walgreens.
Well, no. Actually, no. It's the screenshot thing, right? Cool. It's you have this picture here. He doesn't get seen very often, but it's a crystal clear 4K picture. All right. All right. Yeah, it's great. And then later on, right? They're flying the drone. It's this guy, and it's he lives underneath this bridge, right?
Yeah.
So let's fly the drone down to the bridge. They fly the drone down to the bridge, right? Guys, is that him right there? They go on over the wild, and the guy's it's obviously a guy in a Spirit of Halloween mask.
Right.
The funniest thing is you can see it as they approach the drone, the exact moment it took the screenshot from to make that poster out in the thing.
You bother to change the screen mode?
They got the exact same thing. Oh guys, he's coming out. He's throwing a rock at the drone. Oh, look at that! He's throwing what, guys? Whoa, guys, this is really scary. I think those YouTubers who are catering to 8-year-olds. Guys, this is really scary. We're terrified. Guys, what are we gonna do? It's oh, we got a drone back. What are you guys gonna do? And then they drive. And they're oh, guys, we're gonna drive down and go get the drones. They drive down the road, and the guys in the middle of the road. Guys, there's the guy right there. They stop in the middle of the road. They're guys, let's hope he doesn't see us. And it's
the car.
Yeah,
it's not like he can't see a car.
Yeah. Car. You're talking. Guys, he obviously hear you say like, guys, you gotta make sure we're not gonna watch out, guys, he's coming toward the video, whatever it was. I will show you the clip after this podcast.
That's actually
I'll show you because it's hilarious.
They just get way too into it.
Yeah, they get way too into it. They're like, guys, he's going up into the woods. Guys, they're like, oh, let's get out of the truck and follow him. Oh, gotta park the truck. All right, okay, truck's parked. All right, and then get out. Guys, he's gone. There's no leaves on any of these trees. We sent up the drone. We cannot see him. He is gone. It's like, all right.
So it's fucking 400 miles of forest in the middle of nowhere.
No, because obviously it's just like their friend.
Obviously it's fake.
Who's gone, sat back in the truck in the cut in the video.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll show you the clip after this. All right.
I can see the guys at me goes, shh, I'm bored. I can hear him yelling. Fuck.
Bro, like they told me to be here like 10 minutes ago. Like, what am I
still out there?
Oh shoot, there's the drone. What's up? Hey,
fuck. No. You know what the other thing was? The Clinton Road. We have that in, I don't know if you've heard about the Route 44 ghost, have you? In Boston?
Not really, no.
Do you know where Middleborough is?
I do.
You live pretty close to it.
Yeah, close enough, yeah.
So Middleborough is like this huge farm town in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of in between the two cities. And they call it a way town. So it's like right off the highway, Route 44 goes that way.
Yeah, Friendly's thing.
There's the last Friendly's in that area, yeah.
It's good Friendly's.
It's south of Boston. I don't think there's any more Friendly's. There's one in the Cape.
There's one, actually.
One in Yarmouth.
Friendly's, solid restaurant. Go ahead. Sorry.
Solid restaurant. Nacho approves. We have a Nacho approves at 156. Without Nacho being in the room.
Just know he'd approve.
We just know Nacho would approve Friendly's. Yeah, so they say the same thing. You can find stories on it, actually. About, apparently there's a lumberjack. That is a big logging area.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. I found that out by doing my research. But apparently there's this lumberjack who hitchhikes on the side of the road, wears flannel, boots, the whole 9 yards. Kind of looks like me, apparently. Hitchhikes on the side of the road with a thumb and everything. And he gets in the car and he doesn't say anything, just sits in the back and stares in the mirror. So I'm like, wow, that's a little cryptic. And I Google it, right? I forget what I saw it on. Turns out this is pretty well documented, actually. So it was on Discovery Channel. You ever hear the Dover Demon?
I think so.
I'll talk about that in a second. This is Massachusetts conspiracy stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Bridgewater Triangle and all that. We should have talked about the Bridgewater Triangle. But either way, so the guy gets in the back and apparently looks in the mirror, rearview mirror. And first off, who stops for a hitchhiker? I don't know.
Yeah.
People from Boston don't stop for hitchhikers. Yeah. We usually throw shit to hitchhikers. I drive by and throw coffee cups at people walking on the side of the road. Just for the fun of it. Just because it's funny. Do I actually... Audience. The
it's
audience.
Fine. Whatever, it's fine. Peanut gallery, keep going.
Peanut gallery. This is why we don't film in front of a live studio audience. Yeah, so it's I thought that was fucking dumb. But apparently it's pretty well documented. People really believe that. I forget where I saw that. But the bridge is part of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And you being from Norton, obviously know all about the Bridgewater Triangle.
Oh, yeah. I think I actually... Maybe not, actually.
Do you guys know about the Bridgewater Triangle? Jackie and Hannah, do you know about the Bridgewater Triangle?
I don't know.
Oh!
Hey, I think we should just get a bunch of things written down for this, make it its whole thing. We just took a podcast off the list. We got to make up the spot.
Right.
I think so. I think we can do paranormal conspiracy theory hybrid episode.
Yes.
Bridgewater Triangle.
Bridgewater Triangle in the next one?
Bridgewater Triangle in the next one.
Okay,
yeah, we'll
so then conspiracy theory then.
Yeah,
right, so
actually, hey, it's actually kind of cool because the way we're kind of releasing these is conspiracy theory, ghosts, conspiracy theory, ghosts.
That's true. That is not even the focus of this podcast.
No.
In fact, that's not even this is literally us just killing free time. And now we're talking about ghosts and weird shit from Boston.
Tune in next week for Fred, a comprehensive analysis.
Fred, the breakdown of Fred the Ghost and the Knox. What is he really saying when he says, the Dover Demon, which is from Dover, Massachusetts. Dover is this little farm town. There's really nothing there. And it's actually kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not really near anything. The Dover Demon is this suspected honest to God, the way I can best describe it without putting a picture out there is take a watermelon, bleach it gray, and put legs on it. This is pretty much the Dover Demon. And believe it or not, people think this shit's real. Because every few years you do hear about it. Have you ever heard of this before?
I don't think so, actually.
So the Dover Demon, I'm gonna look up the story for you. But
sure.
I do remember seeing, because when I was a little kid,
make this our closing story here.
This will be our closing story because it'll take a second.
Yeah.
The Dover Demon. you remember when we were kids and everybody like goes through that phase? Like, look, they're so real. Remember that?
Yeah.
Apparently there's a movie about the Dover Demon.
Really?
Yeah. It's got a 9 out of 10 on it. Not on IMDb, it has a 9 out of 10 rating.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. It came out in 2017. I can't find anything else about it. Apparently, it was made by Romeo Ortiz, which actually I know the name. The guy's from Brockton. Fun fact. So, Dover Demon is this weird, like, reported creature that originally came out in the 70s, and people thought it was a dog. So, for the people that are in the room, I'll show you the picture. This is the Dover Demon. I know. It looks like the original version of a Squishmallow.
Oh my.
And like it was just a bad idea. This is what happens if you don't feed your dog. Okay? This is why the ASPCA is a thing, first off. So the guy who discovered it is named Bill Bartlett. And Bill Bartlett is from Sherborne, Massachusetts, the next town over. Actually, I think I've met a relative of him before because I remember seeing the pictures. Like physical, like the pictures. And that goes into my family business thing. I'll explain that another time. So there were like 17-year-old Bill Bartlett claimed that while driving on April 21st, 1977, that there had been a large-eyed creature with, and I quote, with tendril-like fingers and glowing eyes on top of a broken stone wall on Farm Street in Dover. 15-year-old John Baxter reported seeing a similar creature on Miller Hill, we're on Beer Road, Miller Hill Road the same evening. 15-year-old Abby Brabham claimed to have seen the creature following the night on Springfield Ave. So those who aren't from the area, and the only reason I know this is because I did some work over there, is that this is all in the same general vicinity. It's all within the 5 miles of each other. I've done work, as like business work, on Miller Road, Miller Hill, and I've done work on Springdale Ave is their main street right downtown. It's not like downtown, but it goes the whole duration of the town. And then I have done work on the original, I forget what I'm trying to name, Farm Street. Farm Street, which is not actually a farm, it's all apartment complexes. So the teenagers all drew sketches of the alleged creature. Bartlett wrote in his sketch, I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature. And then he sent it to the Boston Globe.
When is this? Like what
the
year?
70s.
The 70s, okay.
77.
Okay.
But people claim to see it as early as 72.
It's like 6 years post DB, 6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, people claim to have seen it in 1972 as well. This is the first time it was like documented. Sends it to the Boston Globe. The location of the sightings plotted on the map, laid over in a straight line in a 2-mile radius. Some suggest the creature may have been a foal or a moose calf. Police told the AP that creatures reported that teenagers were probably nothing more than a school vacation hoax. They, in fact, were not on vacation that year, in 1977. I remember doing the research when I was 15. They were, in fact, not on vacation that year because, and this is true, at that point there was not a huge energy crisis in New England. The reason that in April there was a spring break, and we still have spring break in April, is the energy crisis in 78. If this happened in 77, they didn't have the energy crisis yet. There were some places that were merging into it. Because it was 77, they had hit the energy crisis, but they were evolving into it. Fuck Ronald Reagan. But love Ronald Reagan. But either way.
Once again, we're developing on talking about electricity again.
Right, exactly. My 4 years as an electrician, this is all I can talk about. But yeah, pretty much it wasn't a real thing. So they were not on vacation. And people thought that was a cover story because of it. They're like, oh my god, the police are vouching for this demon. And you ever see the TV show Lost Tapes?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, so there were like these, it's obviously staged shit, but they like base it off of real stories. And there are like actual caves. It's called the Franklin Caves in Dover. And it's like an actual state park. You can go in and like walk through these caves. It's pretty cool. And people like claim seeing the Dover demon. And there are drawings of the Dover demon on the wall. Not like, painting like graffiti, but like actual like stone out drawings. So there's like this huge conspiracy that this thing, which really just kind of looks like, and this is going to sound very grim, but bear with me here. It looks like somebody like ran over your cat, thought they did a bad job and ran over it a couple more times, trying to make it look better.
Ouch. That's
kind of what it looked like. There's no pleasant view of this thing. It's kind of gross looking. But it's a real thing, in fact, in my opinion. Because people have seen it. There are pictures of it, like legitimate like pictures. People haven't seen it recently. Every couple of years, a year, but like, oh, you had a reported story on Farm Street in Dover. No, no. I believe that people
It's
actually.
your go-to voice for random people there.
Right, my go-to voice from random people is this absurdly high pitch. This is like my impersonating the 1940s newscasters.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Hey, how's it going? 1947. Like that's just like I got them Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, actually. But either way, so like I firmly believe like that is something.
Yeah.
Do I believe it was a demon? No, I believe it was some kind of dog.
Something, yeah.
But I believe like it was the sightings were real to the point where like.
Yeah.
Also, who sends it to the Globe? Who was like, let me like record this shit. Let me draw it and then mail it to the Boston Globe. What are they going to do about it? That's going to be front page of the Boston Globe in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
It's Boston.
Yeah.
No, people were getting shot for walking out of their homes. That was the 70s had huge crime. Like that was like that. The big deal was the Dover Demon. Are you kidding me? 40 miles from the city. That's the big deal?
I guess so.
What the hell is wrong with people?
I don't know.
I mean,
well, conspiracy theories are wacky sometimes.
Literally.
Let's say.
And it was confirmed that these kids like didn't know each other. Dover has separate high schools because it's such a big town, and it's confirmed that they didn't. None of these kids knew each other, and none of them like the fact that we're in within a 2-mile radius. It was just weird because they like don't, they didn't live with each other.
Yeah.
So is it real? What do you think?
I would agree with what you just said. Like I think it's a real sighting, not a demon, but like maybe like a malnourished moose or something.
Yeah, malnourished moose.
Yeah.
Which no, God, English. What's really cool is that you can actually drive through these places, and us being from this area is really cool because like this is stuff that we like grew up around.
Yeah.
And we're not far from it. I mean, from me, 30, 40 minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
From you, maybe a little bit shorter because you're like closer to that direction. So like, you know what we should do? We should do a podcast on the road episode.
I mean, I was actually thinking about the way I set things. We used a bit of a different setup today. Like, literally, all we need to do the podcast of our current setup is just for me to take this and walk somewhere. This is entirely wireless.
Yes.
So, like, I have the time running on my laptop right now, so you can see that, we're getting up time here.
Yeah.
Make it a little shorter while we gotta move on to our next thing. Got things to do today. Schedules to keep. But, like, we can sit in the middle of literally anywhere with this thing.
Literally.
And just record it. Or just, break out your phone, do a voice memo. Yep. So I end up doing if we get like a lot of people in the room. The voice memo, take it. I'll just go synchronize it, and that'll be the we can do the podcast and we just keep doing it in here because it just works.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, that's the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to Conspiracy Theories.
Couple of friends with no class.
We're gonna be moving on to our next podcast. So tune in next week for the Ghost of Gerber Hall and other buildings on campus. Probably we got to fill some time. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
See ya.